Fear of falling is real. If you've ever had a fall or you lost your balance, felt tippy, dizzy when you go to stand up, and you've had a fall, you're always a little bit afraid of falling again. And dizziness and balance issues and gait changes are common for people with fibromyalgia. And my name is Lynanne Galloway. And yes, I know all about it. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia probably it's been over 20 years ago since I was, and I've learned to enjoy life and to make some accommodations, so modifications in my lifestyle so that I can enjoy life. So I'm going to share some of those with you today. Um, uh, I also have a missing part of my foot, so balance has been a big issue in my life for part of my life. So one of the things that I would say is that there's different reasons why people have with fibromyalgia have problems. It can be from stiffness. It can be from the pain, because when you're in pain, you walk, your gait is a little bit different. Studies have shown that people with fibromyalgia do have a different gait, and that probably is what is contributing to them to feel off balance or to feel to lose their balance and actually fall. And once a person has a fall, I don't care who you are, whether you have fibromyalgia or not. I worked with seniors, and I'm telling you that once they've had a fall, they were many people were very afraid to walk again. So when you're afraid to walk or afraid because you might fall again, you're even more stiff and more rigid because of that fear, which makes it even more of an issue. So what can you do? What kind of things can you do? Well, one of the things, I'm going to go back again. I've got off track here. One of the things that can contribute to it is blood pressure. And I think there's a thing called POTS, which is postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, which is where the brain and the heart aren't communicating. And that's a little bit more of a complex issue with fibromyalgia. And that will need to be dealt with your doctor, because there are some things that they can do for that. But generally speaking, there are some things that you can do. And it really, when you have a loss of balance, some of it, as my nurse practitioner said, is that it can be just the brain isn't getting back to your body quick enough to tell it to get into balance. So there are some things, there are some things that you can do to help. One is you can get some muscle training. Sometimes when you haven't been feeling well, you lose some of your muscle tone, you lose your core muscle strength. And so getting some exercises in that. Now, I know when I first had my foot injury, really, and I also had fibromyalgia at the time, was I did go to physio and learn how to use my walk again, basically, because of your balance is thrown off. So learning, and the other piece I needed to do is make sure I had really good shoes. Now, if you're having a balance issue, that's definitely something that you want to do. You don't want to be walking on shoes that will contribute to you losing your balance. You want to have good, sturdy, strong shoes. If you walk a lot, running shoes or walking shoes are probably the best to do, because they're good and help with your balance. The other thing would be to make sure that you get up slowly. If you have dizziness, sometimes it's the change in blood pressure. And speaking of blood pressure, you want to make sure that if you're on any blood pressure medications, that you want to have them check to make sure that that's not an issue. Because sometimes you change and you might be on too much medication or not enough or whatever. You need a adjustment to your medications to help you, so that you're not your blood pressure isn't dropping too much, so that you are really getting dizzy. The other thing is to do is, if you have handrails around that you can hold, even in your bathroom, so that you can grab those to help you when you go to get up. So if you're in your laying position to a standing position, if you do it slowly, just don't, the best way to do it is go from a lay to a sit, and then from a sit to a stand, rather than just kind of jumping up. Because that gives your body an opportunity to adjust to how you, the changes in your position. Yoga, Tai Chi, some of those can be helpful in with helping with you with the balance piece. That is actually quite good to do. What else can you do? I would say do not be too proud to use assistive devices if you really are concerned about your falling, like using a walker, using a cane, even in your house, positioning furniture so that you can use them to walk with in your house. Making sure you don't have clutter around on your floor, making sure that you don't have scatter rugs, things that or cords or things like that will contribute to you having a fall. What else is good? Arms on chairs, even those using a chair that has arms on it will help you to be able to get up and if you are dizzy, you have something to hang on to. Hydration. Sometimes if you're dehydrated, there's not enough hydration in your body for your cells to function properly, and that can contribute too. So you want to make sure you're well hydrated too. And good sturdy shoes, I think I already mentioned that. And one of the other things that I found that's been helpful for me is I like to wear what I call Vox socks, and they have a special little thing in here, and it helps with the balance. It's what it does is it helps, it changes the brain in really simple terms. It changes the brain waves in your brain so that your balance is better. And I always wear these when I go walking or going to be shopping. Another time, I like to walk every day, but if shopping is another time, I make sure that I wear them. Or if you're not a person that wears socks, I mean, these are little no-show socks that I can wear in my good running shoes that I wear when I'm going to be doing any length of walking. They have patches as well. And these actually, if you get up in the night, you probably want to use the patches because they stay on for 24 hours unless you wear socks for 24 hours. I don't do that, but so just a little patch that you can just stick on, and it helps with your balance. It's worth a try. If you haven't tried that, that's definitely worth a try for you. And in the link for that is in the description. It's the Vox Life link. And so those would be my tips for helping you with the fear of falling, and may you not have a fall.